talking faster definitely helps. So we have to talk really, really
Oh my
fast
God, I
all
can
of
do
the
that too.
time
Yeah,
and just think as fast as we talk.
Well, you catch all the Pokemon. You must go and become a Pokemon master. You must catch them very quickly. Ha ha!
Please tell me you're recording this shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Welcome to Literary Luscious with your host Megan
and Samantha.
And today we are talking about the book Best State Ever, A Florida Man Defends His Homeland by Dave Barry.
Yes, kind of a slight difference from what we normally talk about, but we figured change it up a little bit.
Yeah, normally we've been doing sci-fi.
And fantasy.
So we decided to do a little humor, and since I'm a born Floridian and Sam is basically a Floridian at this point.
Yes.
Whatever. Don't hate. As the book said, Florida, the people of Florida are not crazy. It's the people who come from other states and stay in Florida are the crazy ones.
I didn't say I wasn't crazy.
So anyways, it was a good book.
It was. And our drink that we made was the skunk ape bait in honor... in honor of the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters right here in Florida. So if you haven't checked out that drink video yet, please do. It is a whiskey-based drink.
I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's not too sweet. It'll definitely knock your socks off. And it's a perfect drink to have right before you go hunting for the skunk ape.
Yes. And we finished the drink a little bit ago because we have a special guest with us this evening.
We do.
Our special guest is my niece, Cheyenne, who is...
Skunk, you drunk skunk.
No. It's just a name. It's named after that.
Gross.
Yes. Just to point out, the child did not have any alcohol.
No. Do not call DFS.
DCF.
No, right?
DCF?
Isn't there DFS? Department of Family Services? No? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Are you making stuff up?
It's quite possible.
Okay.
So Cheyenne, we figured since she's born in Florida, she can actually join in on this conversation.
Cheyenne, how old are you?
9.
All right.
Okay. So do you like living in Florida?
Yes, but I do wish Florida had snow.
Okay. That's
a fair assessment.
Yeah. Like, I love that we have the sun, a lot of sun, but on winter days, I just wish they like Christmas. I wish I could see a white Christmas.
Okay. Have you ever seen an alligator?
Yes, and I've seen snow.
So this book talks about the different places he's traveled to. So have you ever been to Gatorland?
No.
Have you ever seen the skunk ape?
No.
Have you ever been to Key West?
What's that?
No, she hasn't.
What about Miami?
Yes.
Okay.
But that was to get on a airplane.
Hey.
And a cruise, right?
It counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite place that you visited in
Florida?
Florida. There's the word.
She doesn't want to pigeonhole you into Orlando or Disney.
Yeah.
Well,
I know you visited many springs.
Yes. I love Orlando, like Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So probably my favorite is, that's hard.
You could do top 3. How about that?
Okay. I love seeing the lake in Lake Okeechobee.
Okay.
I love Orlando. And I know I'll probably like Tallahassee because I'll be going there soon.
Okay.
Very cool. Our state capital.
Yes.
I'll be going there soon for something.
So do you know what a Florida man is?
No.
Okay. So there are other states in the country that make fun of Florida.
Can you believe that nonsense?
Yes.
So there are a lot of crazy stories in Florida. Like there was a car accident on 95 and there was 1 death. What makes this unique, because there's car accidents all over, right? And there's a lot of people who die in car accidents. But what made this car accident unique in Florida was that the thing that died was a shark.
There was a shark in the car?
Yep.
That's a joke.
Nope.
It's a
The truck was
story.
transporting 4 sharks, and one of them died in the accident.
What type of shark?
I don't know.
Of course, that's the question she asked.
But so the term Florida man refers to any sort of ridiculous news story that comes out of
That's
Florida.
ridiculous
It is, right?
and crazy.
Yeah. And then there was another one. Oh, what
There was a lady who called 911 because McDonald's was out of chicken nuggets, and she was from Florida.
Really?
from Florida.
Or she lived in Florida? I don't know.
There was
That's
one.
crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
You could have just gone to a different McDonald's. and
That's
I
what
could
I'm
have-
saying, girl.
But that's probably really rare for McDonald's to run out of chicken nuggets.
I don't
Mhm.
know. They run out a lot of stuff sometimes. I can't find this one, but it's a good one.
Wait, is it a joke or something?
It's a story about a person, but they're not from, because like a lot of the stories are about people, even though they're from or they're in Florida, they're not from Florida.
like they were born from like Alabama or Kentucky,
Exactly.
Texas, or someone else, and they came to Florida.
New Jersey. Like me.
You came from New
Yes.
Jersey?
I came from New Jersey.
Did you like the snow?
It was okay.
So in this book, he goes to different places and he talks about the different places that he's visited. I said that twice. I realized
And
that.
it's hilarious. So he goes to Witchy Watchy Springs.
Which is somewhere I want to visit.
I've never
Me
been.
too. I've been.
I thought you said you've never been.
I've been.
It's the one with the mermaids.
Wiki-Waki.
With the
I've been-
mermaids.
I've been to Wiki-Waki Springs.
With the mermaids, right?
Yeah, but I didn't see them.
Oh.
I want to go.
The other places that Dave visits,
The villages.
the villages. Okay, that's the stories I wanted to share. Okay, I knew there was something.
Miami, Key West. The Miami shooting range was really cool.
Yes, that was.
Key West. We said Tarpon Springs for the sponge capital.
Mhm.
Oh, the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters,
Okay.
which I have a story about.
Let's go with that.
And was there anywhere else? I was kind of surprised that he didn't do some of the other, like I was expecting him to go to like Coral Castle.
Gatorland.
Oh, Gatorland. Yeah. I've never been to Gatorland, but I've been to the alligator farm in St. Augustine.
I've never been
Have you
to
been
any of
there?
it because if I wanted to see an alligator, I'd just go out to Okeechobee.
Well,
Yeah, I've seen a bunch there. Like, I've always wanted to see a baby gator with its mouth closed just to touch it, to see what it feels before I touch a humongous gator that might snap at me.
Yeah, Gatorland then might be your place to go.
and I was going to say the alligator farms in St. Augustine, they have like one of every kind of alligator and crocodile. So, and then
Crocodiles look mean.
yeah, they do. But they have interactive exhibits. And the cool part about Alligator Land is you can get like, you can do an add on for your ticket where you could do like a zip line obstacle course through the
Ooh.
park. So it's over like the enclosures, which is kind of
Oh,
freaky,
I've
but
seen
really
this-
cool
I've
at the
seen
same
this
time.
YouTube
Megan
video.
looks like she's going to pass out.
Why would they do that? Seems like a logistic, like just what if something broke? How would you like? Do you
I
sign
mean, I'm sure
waivers?
you mean, yeah, of course you sign waivers, but also
Like,
their
if an alligator- if
their
my-
pet, their animals, I'm sure are like properly fed, so I'm sure they're never hungry.
Okay.
And there's safety nets over the enclosure, so if like you did
Oh,
fall, you
okay.
fall into a net.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm imagining like
No,
you
it's
land on
not
top
like
of an alligator
Death
and you take
Action
them off
Park.
and all
Yeah,
of a sudden, like
Gators freak me out a little bit.
I'm fine as long as I'm not like
Buy them.
I was gonna say whizzing over them. I'm sticking with the poster in Dave's book where you have to be like 15 feet
15
away.
feet away.
And I mean in a horizontal 15 feet away.
Horizontal.
It's
Straight.
side to side.
Yeah.
Not up
Like
and down.
flat.
But here's a tip: if a gator or an alligator is chasing you,
Mm-hmm.
go like zigzag.
Zigzag. Yeah,
Yeah.
that they proved not to do that. They said don't do that.
Once they get on land, they're slow.
Yeah.
It's that initial
And
lunge
in
from
the
their
water.
No, like on land.
It's just best to run as fast as you can straight.
and don't look back.
No, you just keep on going. Although I don't think one's coming after you. They just like to eat easy stuff like dogs.
Oh,
Poor doggies.
Yeah.
I know.
They actually mentioned in this book about a alligator that they had caught, and he was in the cage, or not a cage, but like his own sanctuary, and he wasn't allowed to be with other gators because he was very mean to the other gators. But he was retired in this theme park because he would eat dogs, and rather than putting them down, they put him there.
Which is weird, but okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I have another Florida man story for you. Do you remember the one where the guy, he robbed like a store or something, and
Yeah,
he
be
was
more specific. There's a lot of those.
well, let me get to the punchline. He was trying to escape the cops, so he decided to hide in a lake.
Yes.
And got eaten by an alligator while trying to evade the
Why
police.
would you try hiding in a lake?
Because he was a hashtag Florida man.
I would have just tried climbing a tree
That would have been a smarter option, probably.
and just be in the tree. I'd rather a bird bite me than an alligator.
Which is
Astute
funny because a
observation.
lot of people don't look up.
Yeah.
When they're looking for things.
I mean, the movies prove it all the time.
Yeah. Things are always up
Mhm.
on the ceiling.
Which is weird because I feel like they should look, more up than down. Or
We're
side to
not
side.
Condoning
No.
crimes.
No. Definitely not.
But if you were gonna do one and you want to hide,
Don't do it in a lake full of gators.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it in a tree.
do it in a tree full of
Where panthers can get you.
panthers, spiders, and birds.
And
It's
pythons.
really rare to
pythons.
see a Florida panther.
It is, but I've seen one.
You have?
So what's your story? You said you had a special story.
Yes. Okay. So in Florida, they call it skunk ape. Where I'm from in Jersey, we call it Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Have you ever heard of that, Shai?
Yeah.
Okay. But you've never seen one. Okay. Do you believe in it?
I've seen a skunk.
You've seen a skunk. But have you seen the skunk ape or the Sasquatch, the Yeti, the
I've
Bigfoot?
seen an ape, and I know Bigfoot and the Yeti aren't real, but I know those, those, things that live in Antarctica are real, that look like one.
Polar bears?
Yeah.
Huh.
I forgot
I'm
what
great
it
at this game.
That's a
I need you to be a translator for me. There's times Cheyenne says something and I'm like looking at her like, what? And then Sam will be like, oh, it's this. And I'm like, what the heck are you guys coming up with these things?
It's
So
like I
nice.
have ESPN or something.
I
Oh
do.
my gosh. You have ESPN? I bet.
It's a great channel.
So,
I think you and I have talked about this. Mike and I are intrigued by the paranormal.
yes.
My aunt and uncle are involved in the ghost hunting community, and they have some wild stories.
Oh, have they ever seen a ghost? Because I've saw a house that was haunted.
Yes, my uncle is what you would call a beacon. So the spirits congregate to
You
him.
better not give me nightmares tonight.
Nope. Because the story is not about ghosts.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. So the spirits congregate towards him. So they have some wild stories. But they were hiking one day in New Jersey. And they, I think
I can't listen.
Shai is leaving.
For a second.
For a second. So they were hiking one day, and my aunt, I think, had she hurt her ankle or something. So she was going to sit at the foot of the mountain under a tree when my uncle went up top. And they both had, and the stories were about 10 minutes apart from their timeline of events, but they both had a similar experience that they swear they encountered Bigfoot. But it was 10 minutes apart, so it would have been enough time for this being to go from where my aunt was to where my uncle was. And
but isn't Bigfoot not real? Because there's been a lot of psychological things that saying Bigfoot is fake.
and that is the heart of the argument, is whether or not it's real.
Or because a man, just like a hiker, has this big foot that they just made out of clay or something and just molded it. Just walked, had, those things at the fair.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they could have done that.
Well, do you know Florida has a research facility dedicated to Bigfoot?
That's stupid. They're wasting their time.
I would love.
Isn't that a bad word for you? Are you allowed to say that word?
Depends.
Oh,
It depends on the context.
Depends on the subject.
Okay, you just can't call anybody, any single person.
Yeah, I don't do
Okay.
I would love to go to the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters because I find that stuff intriguing. So yes, so my aunt and uncle, so they're hiking in New Jersey. They get to, it's like towards the top of the trail, top of the
Right.
mountains a little bit further out where the lookout point is. And my aunt's like, I'm just going to hang back and whatever. So she said she's sitting on, with her back against the tree, just relaxing. And she's like, then all of a sudden I hear like these footsteps and like the rustling noise coming up the trail. And I get this whiff of like rotting garbage.
Ew.
And according to the stories, Bigfoot smells like rotting garbage, skunk ape. And so she's like, I get this whiff of rotting garbage, but I don't see anybody. And I'm looking all around. The footsteps have stopped, whatever. And she's like, and then after like a minute or so, I hear the ruffling ahead of me and the smell dissipates. And then she said that she like checked her watch just out of curiosity. Oh, it's creeping you out?
Yes.
That she smelled garbage?
So now I'm gonna have a dream.
About Bigfoot.
Yes, creeping me and killing me.
Well, she didn't say anybody got killed.
No.
But still gives me the shivers.
Okay.
Yeah, don't talk about that anymore.
Well, how about we talk about the villages?
What's the villages?
It's an old people community in Florida. The
It's
biggest
a
one.
retirement
Yes, 55 up.
community.
Also, what's her name could go there? Grandma. I'll just say that.
And fun fact that you should mention that
But
because
she's not retired.
No. Gigi used to live there.
Really?
Yes. When I was ironically your age.
And who is
Nine?
Gigi?
My grandmother.
Okay.
Her
And my
great-grandmother.
grandma.
You
But-
guys use these like 2-syllable names for everybody.
Me too.
Gigi, Momo, Mama,
Mimi.
May May.
Mimi.
But so when I was Cheyenne's age, my grandmother moved and my grandfather moved to the villages, and it was just kind of when it just started out, but not like in the book where they talked about it being trailers. It was when they were building like CBS homes, and it was a really interesting community. They definitely were in the golf carts, like in the book, driving around, and they had the neatest. They had like clubs for everything,
And then the different neighborhoods?
oh yeah, and then they also had like each couple neighborhoods had like their own restaurants,
That's crazy.
like legit.
it's like a
restaurants.
compound.
Oh yeah, they had their own swimming pools. They had, and like they said in there, they had kids swimming pools. Although in this book they mentioned a lot more swimming pools than I remember. And then they mentioned Chick-fil-A. I'm like, when did the heck did they get Chick-fil-A?
What?
And
I love Chick-fil-A.
I actually messaged Cheyenne's mom, my sister, and I was like, did you know the villages had a Chick-fil-A for like over 10 years now? And she's like, I'm not surprised, but that's awesome. They have their own movie theater.
That
They have their
doesn't
own
surprise me.
bowling alley.
We
So
should
they have-
just move there and have a life.
I think you have to be
Right?
55 or older, though. You
Um,
got a
Oh,
while
I
to
could
go.
dress up as an old person or go in one of you and be like a really fat person.
Go in one of us. Are you calling us 55? Maybe.
You can wear a wig. and have makeup.
Nice save. Nice save.
So it was interesting to hear them talk about village because, like, when they're talking about like them all coming out to the the courtyard, and all dance and stuff, they did do that. They had like Easter stuff. They had like a whole bunch of stuff. It was
But
insanely
do you
awesome.
think old people would do that?
Yeah, they did.
Absolutely.
They did?
Yeah,
It's still going on. It's like one of the
it's like a
biggest.
huge
Yep.
thing, and so it's grown a lot since I've been there. So.
And the
The villages, they definitely have a lot of different clubs, and then when and because people are
like
older,
clubs, like social clubs, or clubs like I'm going out partying clubs, or
social
both.
clubs, or
Okay.
well, I guess they might have had like
Some bars and stuff.
yeah, they
Mm.
definitely had bars.
So
had
they
a
could
lot of
drink?
golfing. Yep, they definitely all drove around their golf carts. I have a funny story.
Mini golfing?
No, and I don't know if I should share it with Cheyenne here.
It's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's she's deciding.
So again, when I was Cheyenne's age, it was me, my older brother, who's 4 years older than me,
Okay.
and then my sister, who's 16 months younger than me. And we decided in my grandparents' neighborhood to go on the golf cart. Mind you, we are still on county roads.
Mhm. I wasn't sure how you were going to end that
Insidious.
sentence, but go ahead.
So we're driving, my brother and I and my sister are driving this golf cart up and down these streets, and we thought it would be fun to, whoever's not driving, don't ever do this, jump out of the golf cart
Okay.
while it's
What?
going, and to see who could keep running while the golf cart is moving.
Okay.
That's so weird.
My brother was able to do it.
He was also 4 years older than you.
Yes, I was definitely not able to do it and ate it really hard. It was bad.
Are you
So did my
surprised by
mom
that?
do it, or was she?
I don't remember your mom doing it. I
Okay,
think
good. She was a smarty pants.
yes, she was, because you want to know what happened next? We got busted by the police.
The police.
Yes.
The popo.
The neighbors called because we were playing around on the golf cart on a public street. Worst part of this whole story, and now
Your mom found out.
no. I was driving and Chris had jumped out of the golf cart, and that's when the cop pulled up behind us.
Okay.
So my 9-year-old self thought I could outrun
A police.
a police officer
Oh
in
my
a regular car while
In a
I'm driving in a
golf
golf
cart.
cart.
You were that dumb
That is-
back then.
That is the most epic chase scene I could ever picture in my entire
So
life.
it gets better. My brother catches up to me running to the golf cart, and he's like, "What are you doing? Pull over." He tells me to pull over, so I pull over. I get in trouble. They end up making my brother drive the golf cart back to my grandparents' house. My mom and grandma are inside, and my grandfather was outside, and the cops talking to my grandfather, and the three of us thought we were dead.
Oh, of course.
We were dead. You're not supposed to play. Like, we were allowed to drive in the golf cart, but we had to be like grown-ups and not be playing around.
And the police.
And then the police made it just,
Worse.
oh yeah. My grandfather was like, "Listen, we're just going to keep this between us, and you're just never going to do it again." He took that to his grave.
Aww.
Because then we were saying something, and I said something to my mom, and she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, you
actually didn't know
you
about
didn't know
that?
about that?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
that was definitely something we did." So that was one of my favorite memories of the village. There was like a bazillion. Like, I loved it. Like, me and Stephanie want to go back just to see how much it's
I
changed.
didn't realize it had been around like that long.
Mhm.
I thought it was like a newer.
No, and then my dad, because he lived.
I
up
wish
there-
I was alive when that scene happened.
Yeah, it was.
I wish you took a video. I can't believe you were driving
Yeah, it was definitely illegal, and I
and
should
you
not
were
have been.
9.
Might have been 8.
We all do things that are
So,
silly.
So yeah, I don't recommend anybody doing that. But anyways, especially because
But Dave Barry, if you're listening and you
my
want to write a
story.
sequel,
There's my villages story. I have so many villages stories.
I've never been. I also really want to go to the Tarpon Springs
I do want to go to that.
Sponge Museum.
I do too. I want to see sponges.
Yeah, I want to get a sponge souvenir.
A sponge cake.
Ooh. I don't think they sell those at the Sponge Museum, but that does sound delightful.
Have you been to the Louisville Slugger Museum?
No. Is that in Florida?
No.
Oh. Well,
Thanks.
off topic, man.
She's trying. You said you've never been to Key West. Have you been to the Keys?
Yes. My friend and I went to Fantasy Fest, but that is not a PG rated
Oh.
conversation.
I was about to say there were some things that they talked about in the book that I was like, "Oh, I've been there." Like,
And the drag queens.
yes. So I just wanted to make sure we all mentioned the Keys are pretty
Loosey
interesting.
goosey.
And yeah, we enjoyed the Keys a lot. I
I-
one day want to go.
I've always
with,
wanted Ben.
Ray, but I feel like Dave here going into the club in Miami. The guy's like, the
Oh
club
my
doesn't even open
gosh.
till 11. I'd be like, that's my bedtime, yo. I'm in
Which-
bed by then. And
So-
then, it's like, and then back to the machines. These machines. Did you find the picture? Because I want to know what this machine is.
Oh, yeah. It's interspersed, I think, throughout the end of every chapter. That's going to be a really loud audio cut, and I apologize for that.
It's very sexy.
Yeah, because here. The Moldomatic rating.
That's so awesome.
I have personally never seen one of those machines, but I pictured, like the penny
pressers. That's what I thought he was talking about.
That's
I'm like,
kind
is that
of
what
what
they're called?
That's kind of what I pictured.
like where they make the pennies, where you put in like the quarters and the penny, and they make a design on it.
I remember when it cost literally just a penny to do.
Now it's like $2.
Now it's
2 quarters and a
51
penny.
cents.
It's 2 quarters and a penny.
Yeah.
This one does it all the time.
Yeah.
I want to go to Gator because it was Gatorland that had it working, right?
I think so. I like his dedication to my fellow Floridians. Don't ever sober up.
Oh, that's great. Love it.
Yeah.
By the way, we also have hurricane parties in case you're not from Florida and you don't know what that is. That's a thing that we do. We buy a lot of alcohol, and during the hurricane, we drink all the alcohol. As long as it's not anything crazy. I mean, we're not stupid about it.
If it's Cat 5.
We're not playing around.
Yeah.
If it's a 4, I think if it's a 4 or 5, I'm not.
No.
But if it's anything less than a 4, then it's like, party.
And Lock and Load Miami. You think that place is still open? Because if so,
Yes.
we should totally.
I know
go.
they definitely have one in Orlando.
I want to read.
I know they have a machine shooting in Orlando.
And Casadega, that was the psychic place, right?
Yes, I want to go to that so bad. That sounds
Okay,
so interesting.
So here's my thing. I do want to go there just to say I've been.
Right.
Where?
The
Sorry, I was
psychic
reading a
capital of the world.
Is that what that was?
I don't know. I could be completely making that up. Florida does have that town that is like really like one of the top psychic towns for whatever reason. So maybe it's Casadega, maybe it's somewhere else. But I don't like the idea of someone telling me my future based on like what the cards say.
I have tarot cards. I can read your.
My friend did like because he's a friend, and so he did do it once, and I was just like, okay. But I think part of it is almost like a horoscope where it's like it's vague enough that you can read into it what you want.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Kennedy Space Center? I'm surprised he didn't put that in the book.
There were some parts of the book that I was surprised weren't included, like that place.
I've heard of it, and I saw it in magazines. And my mom, she told me about it, and it has like this space center with like rockets and everything.
I've been there. Uncle Ray and I went there. It was really neat.
I haven't been there since like high school.
It was the first time I'd ever gone, and I was an adult. And I was actually kind of glad that I went as an adult because I feel like as a kid, it's not really, I mean, unless you're into space, it's not really.
I mean, space is the final frontier.
So do you know about the bufo frogs, Shai?
What's that?
Oh, I didn't know if you knew. They're the poison frogs that you're not allowed to let your dogs eat.
And they're invasive species. What else is new, Florida?
So is there anything else you want to add about the book that we haven't touched upon? I'm trying to think of.
That is child friendly.
I loved the beginning. It was this book was a riot. Ray and I were laughing out loud while listening to this book.
I've been in Miami, but I haven't been to Lock and Load or Live because I'm not like a club person. I've been to Key West. I've not been to Gatorland, but I've been to Alligator Farm. I've not been to the Villages, but I've been to many 55 Up communities.
This is nothing like that.
I know.
This is its own.
I haven't been to Casadega.
What's Casadega?
That's a psychic place. I haven't been to Wiki Waki or the sponge capital of the world.
It's a sponge capital.
Tarpon Springs.
This is her way of asking, like, can we do a field
Can we do
trip?
a field trip, a Florida field trip? I think it would be so fun.
Well, we just start at the very edge of Florida and work all the way around each little tiny city.
And do all the weird stuff that Florida has to offer.
I still haven't been to that Coral House.
Oh, the Coral Castle in
been there yet.
Miami? And then Mike and I went to Bach Tower Gardens a couple weeks back.
I saw that.
That was really cool. And apparently, I'm really sad we missed it. In the same place is Gravity Hill. And it's the hill that...
In Zephyr Hills?
Yeah, no, Lake Wales.
So you go park on the hill and then your car
goes upwards instead of down.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad we missed it. It was right there.
Me and Steph did that when we were kids. Oh, we want to say thank you to all of our listeners all overseas and all over the place, including Australia. We have
Yes.
quite a few listeners in Australia, and I would especially want to say thank you to you guys. Florida is known as America's Australia.
Yeah. So we would love to know your thoughts on this book.
Yes.
Because Florida is kind of a disaster of a state at times. So for Concha's Corner, just a little PSA for all the people in Florida and not in Florida. Use your blinkers.
Use your blinkers. I even like how in the on the back of the book, it says, more than 1,000 people move to Florida every day. Roughly 8 of these people understand the purpose of the turn signal. Literally, the first line in the back of...
To be fair, that is the second and third line.
No, it starts in the first line.
Yeah, but the blinker part is the second.
Well,
line.
it's
Just...
oh my goodness. I can't with you. I can't.
Anyway, I'm just messing with you.
So yes, it's not gonna
It's
cause
a
you to have an
sign
allergic
of
reaction
It's a sign of weakness.
to use your blinker.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why people don't use it.
is that the case?
No, I use it all the time.
I was gonna say, I thought it was just people being inconsiderate bastards. Cheyenne had slept the room, by the way,
Yes.
in case any of you were wondering.
So now we can talk about the Garden of Eden.
Quickly. So the body painting.
The body painting.
I did like how every time he said something, he was like, my wife's going to be reading this book. So of course I didn't do this. It's like, that's...
Would you go to a bar like that?
I have been.
You have?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Multiple ones. So yes, I've been to all those.
I don't think I've ever been to a bar like that before. Where it's like clothing optional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And like he said, it's never the people you want to see naked.
Oh,
it's always
absolutely.
the people you don't want to see.
Well, we have the nude beach by where we live.
Yeah, I won't go. Because there was also a topless beach in Miami that we went to. And there was like 70-year-old women topless.
Oh, yeah.
And those are the people you want to be.
Yeah. Well, Mike and his surf buddies, they surf at the nude beach because there's good waves and it's usually not crowded because it's a nude beach. And he's like, the only nude people you ever see are old men.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yep.
Florida, man.
Love it. I wouldn't live anywhere else, though. I don't think, anyways. I don't know. Maybe, but it's hard to beat Florida. There's some, like he said, you could be suffering in cold weather. I don't have to, never have to worry about that. I'll take my hurricanes over your snowstorms any day.
Although if the ice caps melt, we are royally and truly fucked.
Yeah.
We'll just be underwater.
It's all right. We'll just get on a boat.
Yep. Sure.
We'll swim on top of alligators.
It's like the story, it's like alligator seen swimming with machete in its head or whatever, and it like somehow survived.
So many random stories.
I don't know. Everyday living in Florida makes you stronger.
It does.
Yep.
Florida's it's a great place.
Well,
It's got interesting people, that's for sure. And like he said, it's not usually the people who are born in Florida. I mean, granted, there are a few of them that are special, but we get all the extra cray-crays.
myself excluded, obviously.
Of course. You use blinkers, so you're fine.
I do use blinkers.
So you're fine.
Mm-hmm. And I don't live in the villages. Yeah, anyway, check back in another 30 years or so.
STDs from villages. Which is true. I only know about it. The reason why it's so high there is because it's the same in all nursing homes. They actually say STDs are the highest between the elderly and young teenagers. Or not young
think
teenagers,
about
but
it.
teenagers and young adults.
If you're in your 70s or 80s, what do you care?
Well, and then especially because men die younger.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like one man for every 5 women.
Mm-hmm.
And them women don't care.
They're not getting pregnant.
No.
What do they have to lose?
So.
All right. So our next book is the first book of the Mistborn series. It is Mistborn, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. If you guys are liking what we're doing, please, please, please rate us because it helps us become more visible to other people. And it also lets us know how we're doing.
Yes. We like to know if we are doing something right, doing something wrong, so we can curb our...
We're going through the learning curve.
Yeah. So it'll help us out a bit.
Yeah, and if you guys have any suggestions for books, please let us know.
Mm-hmm.
If you are interested in appearing in our author spotlight segment or ASK segment, please reach out. We talk to fledgling authors, content creators, podcasters. You can find us on all the social medias.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
That's it. So I guess
YouTube.
YouTube, yes. If you're listening to us, you can obviously know where to find us. And if you're going to share the show, please use our hashtag
LitLushPodcast.
Yeah. And if you really, really adore us or you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, these girls need help, you can support us on our Patreon page. which if you go to Patreon, you can just search Literary Lushes and we'll pop up. And we have different tiers available from $2 all the way up to $20. And you get all sorts of goodies. And the higher tiers, you get some sweet, sweet swag to go along with
you get
it.
special content. So that's really neat. I mean, for that part alone, it's pretty awesome.
Yes, you get Patreon only exclusive content with videos and stuff that we do. So yeah, we're trying to make our patrons give them just some extra goodies every month, which we've been doing pretty good lately. So
yay!
Yeah.
I want to say thank you everyone for being patient with us tonight, as we had a younger person with us,
surprise
today.
Guest.
Thanks, Cheyenne, for joining us this evening.
And she's also on our Patreon exclusive video where we unbox a box of goodies from one of our Patreon supporters and author of the Lana Harvey series, Angela Roquette. So tune into that if you support us on Patreon. It's a video you're definitely
don't want to miss. It's the most adorable thing ever.
I got a lot of good tips.
It was great. She did some research like while we were, doing setups for other stuff. She was in the other room watching YouTube and writing out notes on how to help us do it. It was great. It was adorable.
Anywho,
we're just thinking about it. It was great.
As we like to say, stay lively with your libations.